Hey everybody, good morning. Today we're going to do another audio focused video here. So after this, you can just put your phone in your pocket and listen. I want to talk about productivity and some systems that I've been wrong about up until recently, honestly. And I want to kind of clear the air on that and explain to you where I'm at now with how I view productivity and how I want the people that follow me to think about it. And you don't have to adopt it. This might not be for you, but I want you to at least hear it because I don't think a lot of people are really covering it because this kind of defies what I call robot logic, which is the correct way to do things. In a perfect world, when it comes to productivity, you would want to do the top value task first, the thing that has the highest value to your business, the highest value to your life in general. And what that doesn't take into consideration is how boring it is or how much you dislike it. But it pays the bills and it grows the business. So robot logic would be to do that thing first and then triage down by importance everything else by the same standard. So the next task that you would do after completing the first task would be the second highest level value to your business. But what I found is that logic does not hold up for humans. There are some people absolutely that it does hold up. These people are outliers and they are just beasts. And those people are outliers. The people like David Goggins, Eric Thomas. But let's face it, guys, we are not them and we don't have to be. You don't have to be. It's okay. Coming to terms with that, I think is very important. Understanding that you do have goals, but you also have reasonable boundaries that you should set because you might find yourself miserable. You might find yourself doing all these productive things and getting a ton of stuff done, but you were miserable in the end. This is especially true for people that do creative work, people that write, that film, that create art. You guys really need to pay attention to this because you might be falling out of love with your work, and that might lead you down the path of leaving self-employment or just generally becoming completely disenchanted with the work that you used to love. And that's not good. So I want to give credit for this concept to, I can't believe I'm doing this because I don't really like him as a person anymore. And that's going to hurt a lot of people's feelings because a lot of people love him. He's very polarizing in that sense. And I do owe a lot to him because he was the person that got me first interested in like money and finding ways to be more than just a minimum wage employee, to see myself as somebody who could actually become, wealthy. And that's something that I do thank him for, even though his approach to wealth is the complete opposite of mine. He has a lot of things that he's done that are accurate, but he's done just as many things that are terribly stupid, I think. His name is Dave Ramsey, and he has a method for helping people get out of debt. So his whole thing is personal finance, and his big enemy is debt. And he is not wrong there. He speaks to the common person. He doesn't speak to the David Goggins, and he doesn't speak to the person on the, whatever the person looks like on the farthest opposite side that has no drive, no desire, all that stuff. Okay. So he speaks to the common man, the 80% of men and women in the middle. And he creates recommendations that are based around that. And he understands that we're not followers of robot logic. We aren't robots. He actually implements that in what he suggests when it comes to getting out of debt. And I really love this because he's one of the few financial advisors that actually sees things in a human perspective and doesn't just say what is economically the best, most logical decision from a numbers standpoint. And there are people that can do that and they're awesome and they're wealthy and good for them. But most of us are more complex than that. And that's a good thing. But his method is this. So when it comes to paying off credit card debt, which is, so again, his huge enemy is credit card debt. When it comes to paying off credit card debt, you should focus first on the lowest balance credit cards versus anything else. No other considerations matter. This was at least what I heard from him 8 years ago when I first, was listening to him. That's like 10 years ago now. God, time flies. But he recommends that you pay off the lowest balance first so that you can have that quick win of feeling a credit card go away. And on the surface, that's bad logic because it doesn't pay off the highest interest cards. So that means you're going to be paying more every month in interest and saving less, technically, that you didn't have to pay just by choosing a different card. But his logic is that he knows we're not robots and we don't follow that linear, perfect progression of I'm going to do this and then I'll do the next thing and then I'll do the next thing. The reason it doesn't work is because we get burnt out. We need motivation to keep going, and staying the course is exponentially more valuable than getting a lot done this week or saving interest this month or even this year. He wants people to do it for life. And I want that for you too when it comes to your business and productivity in general. So I don't want to show you the approach that I used to recommend, which was very linear. It was very much triage everything. So do your first high priority task and then the next one. And then don't do the other stuff that isn't high value. That does not work at scale for most people. And my blog is for most people. I don't just blog to the 1% or, even the top 20%. I blog to anybody that wants to improve their life through entrepreneurship. For that reason, I need to explain that you need to find a balance between high value work and flow state work. I call flow state work anything that you do that you just enjoy. It has to be rooted in work in some way. Like it has to be going towards, like, let's say for me, my highest value stuff would be optimizing ads for my existing products or hiring people to work inside of my company or coming up with new offers, writing emails to my list. But those things don't typically get me into flow state. I do them because I understand their value. And I am working. I have 4 kids, so I do work. But for me to do that every day for 12 hours a day, it's not going to work. I'm going to burn out really, really fast. And I did it for a while. And I think if you're brand new to entrepreneurship, you can do that. And if you can make it a year by doing that, you're probably going to succeed because first of all, you're getting yourself a tremendous head start, but also you've set yourself up and you've shown that you've got the type of personality that can do hard work. But eventually you're going to want to come back to the main point of why you got into entrepreneurship in the first place. And that is because you want to be happy. You don't maybe see that immediately on the surface. You might think, man, I need to make more than $20,000 a year. But at the end of that, the reason you ask is, why do I need to make $20,000 a year? You go, well, because I want to, my car is broken down and it sucks. My house has got roaches and I want to have kids and I can't afford to have kids. But then you go, okay, so why do you want to do those things? And eventually it's going to come back down to because you want to be happy. And that's all that any of us want. We want to be happy. We want to be loved. We want to do all that. And money is just a very rudimentary base level of measuring that we just don't really think about. We don't really think about it as far as, because I want to be happy. So sometimes we get locked into that. How do we make the most amount of money? And then we do that triaging of tasks by importance and value. But you're going to burn out. So for me, this is what my productivity looks like now. I do still spend a good amount of time in that triage work. I do have every day something that is my highest priority task. That one thing that I'm like, if I knock this off of my to-do list, I will feel great about the day. Everything else is gravy. So I try to get that knocked off. But I'm not at the point anymore where I'm going to dedicate 14 hours a day to that one task because that makes me miserable. I can still get it done. If it's something I have to get done, I'll figure out a way to get it done. But for now, I get that if I get that noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock lull, that energy goes down around those times and you're just like, God, I would love to take a nap, or I would love to go out. I'm going to go grab a beer. I'm going to go to, call one of my friends and go to the restaurant and do something like that. At that point, I go, okay, it's time to do something I love. And it's time to kind of do something here that's going to make me get through this and not think about the boredom or not think about the drain that I'm feeling. And for me, that's creating videos on YouTube on my smaller channels, or creating stuff on my blogs that are just like passion topics, or writing on Medium. So for me, the joy comes from creating stuff, even though it's not the most valuable thing, even though it might be something that only gets a few views. My goal is I want to do something that I'm passionate about. And yes, I do see a path to monetization eventually for those things. And that's how I'm able to justify doing them during the workday, because if it wasn't, those would just be hobbies. But by doing those things, I'm able to re-energize myself for the next day. I'm able to re-energize myself to do that meaningful work, because I am not a robot, and I've come to terms with the fact that I am not a beast like a David Goggins. I'm not going to run an ultra marathon with a broken leg. I don't need that. My ego does not need that. No one in my life needs me to be that person. It would be a crazy world if any of us needed to be that person. And if the world ever gets to that point, maybe you can become that person. We can all change. But for right now, that's not me. And I'm guessing if you're watching this, that's probably not you either. I mean, David Goggins is a psycho. I love him. He's awesome. Motivator. But he's a psycho. And that's not us. We're not robots. I think that you need to find things that are in your flow state. So what should you take out of this? So take every bit of productivity advice that you've gotten even from me. If I ever wrote anything that was too linear and too black and white, like that just made perfect logical sense, take that with a grain of salt. And now you need to sprinkle in the extra factor that is, will I burn out? Let's say you don't burn out. Let's say, and I think this might be even worse. You don't burn out, or you fight through that burnout, but you're miserable. And we go back to the whole point of doing entrepreneurship in general, that's to be happy. So are you happy? If the answer is no, then you're a terrible entrepreneur. I'm sorry. That I felt that way about myself before, because I'm like, man, I'm not happy right now doing this. I mean, I absolutely love entrepreneurship. But we all have our moments like that. And some people's are more sustained. And if you find yourself where you're like, I haven't loved my business in 2 or 3 years, it might be time to add some flow state work. What is it that you love that makes time fly? And is there any way for you to justify that as work? Even though it might not be profitable in the short run. You have a business, right? I'm assuming if you made one business work, you can make another one work if given a bunch of time. So find things that are maybe long-term plays. Like for me, my YouTube channel where I create boring Excel videos. I love them. I mean, don't get me wrong. Those are so fun for me to make. And I don't know why, but I love that stuff. And other people would be bored to death. That might be their work. For them, that might be their top priority work that they hate. That makes perfect sense. Everyone's different. But find that for you. And just know that we're all different. There's general productivity guidelines that do hold true for everybody, but there also needs to be flexibility. I mean, there's no right time to wake up. There's no right thing to do first for every single person. We have to find that for ourselves. I think a lot of people that read self-help and read productivity books, we really like to have people answer stuff for us. And it's kind of a mental laziness, and we all do it. And unfortunately, I think the truth is actually somewhere in the middle there, where you have to actually take stuff that you read and then apply it to your own life. Because even the smartest authors and bloggers and podcasters, all those people out there, they are speaking from their perspective and then the limited perspective of the people they've worked with. Yes, some people have a tremendous amount of experience and perspective, and they're going to be easier to trust blindly. But I just think that we're all so different, and we need to make sure that we are creating a work and a lifestyle that makes us happy. So that's it, guys. Try to balance that out. Don't focus too much on that robot logic of this is what I have to be doing. Focus on that human aspect as well. Focus on what do I need to do to be happy. And I do think that that is the better long-term play, even financially, if that's what you're worried about. I think that doing that long-term, I think staying the course is exponentially more valuable than quickly being productive over a shorter period of time, followed by burnout. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you for watching and listening. I will see you in the next video. Also, let me know what you guys think of these audio only videos. I love making them. I don't want to do a podcast, but I do like focusing on this YouTube channel with these types of videos. It's fun to do. All right, I will see you guys later.